Hello moms, welcome back to Destiny Busy Moms YouTube channel. Welcome to the community of moms that are living their lives intentionally on a daily basis. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Coach Sandra and I'm an intentional living coach helping moms live their best lives intentionally on a daily basis. I'm also a childcare consultant, so you would hear me talk about children here and there and how best to help them thrive also. All right, welcome to today's video. So today let's talk about parenting and purpose, right? It's a new month coming up, and it's actually the second quarter of the year, and this particular year 2026 we have a theme titled intentional mastery. So we are mastering different areas of our lives, different sections, different facets of our lives, and as moms we come on here every month with a theme that's connected to the general theme of intentional mastery. So we have intentional mastery of foundations, and that was in January, and then we moved on to different other aspects. So intentional mastery of communication and connection with our children was for the last month, which is the month of June. And this month, which is the month of July, we're talking about intentional mastery of family, parenting, and purpose, basically, and that's what we'll be talking about throughout the month of July. Okay, so today let's talk about the fact that as moms especially, we are faced with a lot of chaos on a daily basis. We are doing chores, we are taking care of family, we are on our jobs, we have businesses, and some of us even have ministries that we attend to daily. We have a lot of things on our hands, and we are tempted to be busy on a daily basis. So that just occurred to me now, Destiny Busy Moms. That's actually why or where the name came from. We're destiny conscious, but we're busy moms. All right, so I'm actually talking about the fact that in the midst of all this chaos, you might want to ask yourself, or like me, you would have asked yourself so many questions, especially about purpose and fulfilling destiny. Like, am I really fulfilling purpose? Or how can I fulfill purpose in the midst of all this chaos on a daily basis? That's what we're going to be talking about today, because you will be so shocked that there is no particular time that's going to be free for you to just settle in and say, today I want to fulfill purpose. Okay, so how then can we fulfill purpose on a daily basis in the midst of all these distractions and chaos basically in our lives? That's coming up very soon. Don't go anywhere. So let's talk about what purpose is, because many of us might feel like purpose is achieving big dreams and reaching your goals for the year or for the month, or just breaking some records that you've set for yourself, and just achieving a lot. And that's not bad in itself, but purpose is deeper than that. It's actually more than achieving this and achieving that and going for this and going for that, and basically just more feathers on your cap. Purpose is actually understanding why you're doing certain things the way you're doing them. So purpose is, why am I even a parent in the first place? Why am I in this marriage? Why am I a mother? Okay, these are the kinds of questions that purpose asks. Whereas if you want to achieve something, or you want to hit a goal or something, the question will be, what do I need to do this, to get that, or how busy can I get to be able to achieve this? So that's basically the difference. It's that purpose, it's deeper, it's more personal. I could have a purpose of reaching out to moms so that they can live intentional lives. You could have a purpose of reaching out to children and ensuring that they thrive in whatever environment they find themselves. Okay, so those mindsets are now going to shape how we do things, because we are living by our purpose. There's a reason why we're doing what we're doing. We're not just there ensuring that the cycle is running or that the wheels are turning, but we are there for a particular reason. And that's basically what parenting is or should be. It should be a role or a responsibility that places purpose in our hearts more than even the responsibility itself. So what purpose should look like in parenting should be more like, why am I the mother to these children? Why am I in their lives? Why isn't it someone else? Why should I raise them a certain way? Why not the way every other person is? And purpose is basically allowing your values to dictate how you react, how you raise your family, how you carry out your daily activities, and not the circumstances that you find yourself in. So let's say you are in a circumstance where you are basically oversaturated. As moms, you can actually be oversaturated with all the things that you have to do and all the things that are expected of you. You can become oversaturated and just basically blank out and be reacting from oversaturation. Okay, but with purpose, you know why you need to act a certain way in front of your children and not the other way just because of the pressure. You know that anything you do while you're angry or while you're saturated or while there's chaos, your children are going to pick it. You are going to be intentional, so intentional that your circumstance does not dictate how you act, but instead your values do that. Okay, your values should determine how you parent. It's not easy, I'm not even going to lie, but there is a particular system I use to reset, to just shake off all the pressure, all the chaos, because there's something chaos does. It just comes subtly. And you think that you're okay, you're fine, but your actions will sell you out. Your actions will tell you otherwise, that you're not fine. Chaos is so subtle, and you just keep being busy. You're doing this, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing that. And at the end of the day, you are productive, but not with purpose, if you know what I mean. Like, you get things done, you're busy doing things, but purpose is not fulfilled. And remember, I said that purpose is the reason why you're doing something. Okay, if you are just parenting because you need to clean the house and to provide a clean environment for your child, and to just make sure the house chores are done, and laundry and this and that, if that's like the major reason why you're doing all that, you would feel so oversaturated and you will be pressured to react. Okay, but if you are acting from the place of purpose, where you ask yourself questions like, why exactly am I doing this? And you remind yourself again that I'm doing this because I want to raise intentional children, and I'm building an intentional home, and I want my kids to see what I'm doing and emulate or model after me. Then that keeps you going, and that also checks your mindset, your mentality. It checks your actions, so you don't just react when things are not going the way they are planned or you planned them. Okay, so that's just basically the difference and what chaos does or what chaos tries to do, which we must guard against. So what are the things that we can do as moms to ensure that we don't act out of chaos and that we live more on purpose? Number one is, ask yourself this question. And I think I even did a video about it when we're talking about intentional foundations in January, which is, first thing, ask yourself, who am I really becoming in all of this? Because we are daily living our lives. Time is going, time is counting. We are getting older. Our children are watching us and they're copying or emulating things that we're doing. And with time, these things become part of them. So, who am I becoming in all of this? Am I going to look at myself in some years to come and believe or agree or be happy that I have lived a life that was worth living? Or am I just going with the trend and going with the chaos and going with the, hustle and bustle and just ensuring that I go past every single day? Am I just living for each day? A more intentional outlook would be, I'm living on purpose daily, doing the things I need to do, and I'm becoming who I need to become in the process. You see? So this is one question you must ask yourself. Who am I becoming in all of this? The second question you should ask yourself is, what are the things that are the most important, that should take more priority? And these things should really be tied to your values, the culture you're trying to build in your home. Okay, so are you trying to build a home where honesty is a landmark or something that everyone treasures? Then in your day-to-day life, how are you ensuring that this is being relayed to the children, to your husband, to the people around you, that honesty truly matters? It means you'd have to move it up the scale and ensure that this particular value is very important to us, so we stick to it. Or do you have a value of family time, quality family time? Then it means that you always have to put good and quality family time into the schedule for every single day. Even if not every single day, based on the fact that sometimes life kind of draws some things towards us, and it's not easy to always, but at least a greater percentage of your days in a month, for instance, should be able to carry these values like weighty, like an egg. Okay, so every single day, for instance, try to make tasks, or just create times where family time is treasured. If it's dinner time, everybody must sit at the dinner table and fellowship. How was your day? How did you go about this thing and that thing? And you just fellowship and have good quality time where you just air out, some things that happened in your day, and just share with everybody. That's good quality time, because not everyone gets to sit down like that at a dinner table and share how their day went. And we just keep living on autopilot like that. And at the end of the day, we say, okay, our value is quality family time, but we never ever get around to coming together and even having this family time. So you see, the little things that matter should be those things that we have by purpose decided that these are our values for our home, for my family that I'm building. Okay, so try to impute this in your daily life. Even if it's when you pick the kids, just take them to an eatery to get ice cream and you just gist, and that's all for the day. Makes sense, good sense. It doesn't have to be extreme, it doesn't have to be big, but once it's in your family values and your purpose is that you want to live intentionally, then those values should take top priority in your life. So apply that to every other value that you have coined out, or that you have found that it would help you in living a more intentional family life, and then you work towards it daily. It might not be easy at first, but with time, even the children now know that it's culture, and when you forget or when they feel you've forgotten, they will always remind you. All right, so those are just basically the things that help me to reset every single day and keep on living with purpose. First thing is, ask yourself, who am I becoming in all of this? That's more important to me, because if I am becoming more reactive due to chaos and due to motherhood and work and this and that, if I'm becoming more reactive instead of more calm and more in control, then I would have to just take a break and listen to my inner self and realign. Okay, the second thing is, I'm asking myself, what matters to me the most today? Right? Today. There's some things that should not be done today. They can wait till tomorrow. Okay, those chores that you feel you must do them today, or somebody's life will end. It's really not that bad. It's really not that serious. Okay, cut yourself some slack so that you can concentrate on things that matter most to you and your family. That's not to say that you should be lazy or not do things when you have time to do them. If there is time and it's important to you, please, by all means. But if it can wait and it's not as important as some other things that you have value for, then let them wait, because you certainly cannot do everything at a particular time. Everything has its time, and the most important take top priority. Then the third thing is you need to also ask yourself, what matters most in my life? So your life is counting, your children's lives are counting, they're growing, your family is growing larger and bigger every day, everyone is growing older. Okay, what are the things you want your kids to look back on and be able to say that these are our values, and ensure that these values are given top priority also in your day-to-day life. Okay, these are the things that I do to keep me in check when there's chaos, and it still helps me parent with intention, with purpose. Okay, and I know that this would help moms out there. If you're a mom that's always feeling pressured, or feeling like you're in a chaotic situation and it's really difficult to keep going with purpose, sometimes you just let your purpose cap off, and you just do anything the way you want to, and just live anyhow you want to. This would help you. Okay, ask yourself, who am I becoming? Then put most important tasks at top priority. And then third, what are my family's values? What are my own personal values, and how can I live daily to uphold these values? I'm sure this would help you live more intentionally and with purpose. Okay, so if you've learned anything, please drop it in a comment. At this point, I'm going to end this video now, but not without saying that there's an intentional mom community that I would love you to join. Please join us in the comments. I'll leave the link in the comment section, or in the description box rather. So please check that out, and I'll see you in my next video. Okay, have a lovely time. See you. Bye.